and thank you for joining me on this segment of my council comment. I'm 9th District Council Member Whitney Elliott Baxter, and today I am joined by with Tim Vaughn, Executive Director of Kentucky 811. Thanks for being here.
It's good to be in Lexington.
Yeah, so I think August is a pretty important month for you guys in Kentucky 811. Tell me why.
It is. We kind of hijacked the 8th month and the 11th day, kind of made it our day.
Yeah?
811 day, using the numbers. So it's a day that we set aside every year to really dig in and promote safe digging around utility lines.
Tell me a little bit about why it's so important to call 811.
First of all, it's a free service.
Okay.
And when people call 811 or go online to our website and enter a locate request, which is they give us data, information on when they're digging, where they're digging, what they're doing, all that, then we notify all the member utilities around the area so that they can come out and mark with paint or flags where all their underground utility lines are, so that when you dig, you don't come in contact with those things, or you don't hit them or cause any damage to them.
So is this a service that general contractors use, or is this a service for everybody? Who should be calling 811?
Everybody. Anytime you're digging, Kentucky, there's a Kentucky statute, 367, 4901 through 4917, that governs all this, and it defines digging as any moving of dirt by any means by any person. Okay. So digging to do a mailbox, and let's think about a mailbox. It's about 1 foot off the edge of the road.
Yep.
What else is 1 foot off the edge of the road? The utility lines. Mm-hmm. So even a mailbox can turn into a catastrophe on a weekend project. So it's for everybody. Any of those small projects, or even obviously the big contractors doing their big jobs.
So we keep saying call 811.
Yep.
Is there another way that people can access the service?
Actually, that's a great question, because about 85% of the people now go online to do that at Kentucky811.org.
Okay.
It's a lot easier. You can do it 24 hours a day. There's no wait to get into the phone system, and you can type your drop-down box, type in all your questions, you hit transmit, and you get a copy of the locate request back. It's just the best way to do it. So we highly encourage everybody to go online and do it. It's so much easier.
So once you put the request in, what's the turnaround time, and what's the process look like after that?
Sure. So the Kentucky law requires that you wait 2 full days, excluding the day you make the request.
Okay.
So typically, depending on what time of day, that could end up being 3 business days that you got to wait. And that's just to allow the utility operators that we send that notification to just allows them time to do research and then send their people out and to market and put paint and flags on the ground.
Okay. Now you mentioned there's a Kentucky state law that requires everyone to call before they dig. Can you talk about what a tolerance zone is?
Sure. So Kentucky's tolerance zone is 24 inches from each side of the facility. So let's use this piece of gas. By the way, this is a mangled up piece of gas line. This is the stuff we're trying to keep from happening.
Yeah.
Look at that. Someone got into that with the tooth of a backhoe. So 24 inches measured from each side of that facility. So they'll mark on the surface with yellow paint and yellow flags.
Okay.
Yellow indicates gas, and 24 inches on each side of that is a non-mechanical tool zone. You have to use hand tools, shovels, things like that.
Okay.
That's just to allow for a tolerance of this line.
Okay. Now we've talked about the importance of having the underground utility lines marked, but can you talk a little bit about what's at stake? Like, what happens if somebody hits an underground utility line?
Sure. So underground, what all is underground? We got water underground, we got sewer underground, we got telecom, fiber, and obviously gas. Yeah. Certainly you don't want to get into a gas line. Everybody can understand the volatility of a situation like that. But fiber, I mean, everything runs off of fiber now. It's our internet, it's our houses are run off of the internet and off of fiber. And who wants to be the person who cuts the TV line in the middle of the ball game?
Yep, not me.
Takes out the whole neighborhood. You do not want to be that person. So it's the outages that can happen, plus it's the injuries that could take place depending on if it's electric or gas or something like that, or water. You hit a water line and now your neighbors are under a boil alert because they got to do that. So that's the outage and plus the injury piece of it. It could cause an injury, and there's a penalty for violating the state law that you could be administered through law enforcement for violating the law. So there's three things bad can happen.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's a free service to call us.
It is
so
free,
why wouldn't you call?
Well, Tim, I really appreciate you being here with me today to tell everyone about the importance of calling 811 or going to, remind me the website again.
At Kentucky811.org.
Kentucky811.org. Next up, we'll have Lisa Smith, the Public Affairs Manager for Columbia Gas of Kentucky. Thanks for sticking with me. We've got Lisa Smith here, Public Affairs Manager for Columbia Gas of Kentucky. Thanks for being here today.
Sure, thank you for being here.
So we talked a little bit about why it's important to call before you dig.
Yep.
And I know that once you put that request in, a lot of flags show up in your yard. Can you talk a little bit about what each color flag means?
Yeah.
We've got this handy.
Right, yeah. So yellow, of course, is gas. Red is electric. Blue is water. There are a lot of different colors. Orange is cable, so that's the one you probably see a lot. So green is sewer. So yeah, just kind of, it's important to know that information is on our website. It's also on the Kentucky 811 website too.
Well, that's really helpful to know because they just kind of pop up out of nowhere sometimes.
Yep.
And I know that people may jump to conclusions and think just because there's yellow markings in their yard or the flags have gone up that maybe Columbia Gas is doing a project, but it could be a neighbor or another business, right?
Exactly. Just because you see the yellow Columbia Gas flag out there doesn't mean it's a Columbia Gas project. It could be anybody's project. It could be a city sewer project. It could be a landscaping project. It could be anything.
Okay. On a completely separate note, what should somebody do if they smell gas?
Yeah, so if anybody ever smells gas, they should leave the premises immediately, and they should call 911 and Columbia Gas, our emergency number. It's 800-432-9515. We'll put it on the screen, and yeah, it's very important to give us a call. We'll come out no matter what time, day or night, no matter what day of the year.
Yeah, that's really important. I think that can probably be pretty dangerous if somebody gets into a burst gas line.
Yeah.
Was there anything else important that you'd like to tell our viewers about Columbia Gas?
No, we just really pride ourselves on safety and helping our customers, excavate safely in their own yards. It's not just for professional excavators. It really is for, if you're trying to put up a new deck or put in a fence or, as Tim said, a mailbox. It's very, very important that you always contact 811 before you dig.
Great. Well, Lisa, thanks for being here today. And as you can see, we've heard a lot of really valuable information today, and I hope that you have taken away a great piece of information as well. Thanks again for joining me, and if you would like to stay up to date on anything that's happening in the city, please email me at wbaxter@lexingtonky.gov to get on my email distribution list, and always you can find me on social media. Thanks and have a great day.